how you see yourself is how you can lead to success. Because I've been reading cybernetics, and it was basically, it's talking about like how you see yourself is basically where you can, like, I guess, you like basically you can be control of your thoughts, basically your self image. And but the weird thing is, like, it's hard to do that because, like, before reading the book, I guess, and even before meditating, um I found out, like, in my mind, like, I'll be having like negative thoughts, even like when I'm not conscious of it. Like, I have thoughts where, like, oh, I can't achieve this, or I can't be a rapper, or I can't be good at school, and like all that is built. It's not built upon you. It's always just built upon from, like teachers. I'll be yelling at you, saying like, "Oh, you're so stupid. Like, what? How'd you get that wrong?" Or like, even like sometimes, like, being in like an IEP type of class. So in Canada, there's like an IEP type of class. It's for people who are like, you're struggling in school, I guess, like, who, I forgot what it stands for. I think it stands for intellectual improvement. I don't even know. I'm just saying shit, like, just to think that I know what I'm talking about, but like not like, but like, that's the thing, that like, I guess you can say, image about myself, or I guess identity about myself, fucking ruin, kind of like ruin my self image. And like fucking people from other school, and like, not school, like the same school, but because like in my elementary school, there'll be like our class, right? It'll be 7th to 8th grade. So I'll be 8th grade, and then there's like another, I guess, set of students that are not IEP, but there's regular ass student. They're basically like, they're 7th and 8th grade, but they'll, like, some of them like will fucking like make fun of us, basically, or make fun of me, shit like that. And like that, but also like, no, at least I was putting in effort, because I went to tutoring, not by my choice, but my parents forced, basically. But like, I used to go to this tutor class where this this uh this lady, well, she was born in Sri Lanka, so the way they are taught was, and not just not the from the teachers, but also family, like, it's always in a very punishing, abusive way. And basically, like, when I was trying to when I went to actually, even just before I went to tutor class, I used to be super anxious. Like, I always just dread the day, like, oh fuck, man, I have to like go to tutor class. And then I remember, like, I always cope myself by watching like SpongeBob SquarePants, and like SpongeBob SquarePants, or like even like Very Odd Parents. Pretty sure some other shows, but it's mainly those two shows, Very Odd Parents and SpongeBob SquarePants. And like, I remember, like, as the day goes on, like, I'll be like, fuck, shit, like, it was so stressful, I'll come back after school, I come back home after school, and then I usually have like half an hour, or like an hour, where like I can like watch TV and shit, and then like just that dreadful ass, like, oh, like my parents tell me, okay, you have to come on, Kobe, you have to go up, you have to go through tour class. I'm like, oh fuck, man, like, but like, in my mind, I was like, yo, I'm just trying to, make my parents happy. So, as long as this makes my parents happy, I can like live life, like, but like, my self image back then, like, I didn't thought that, like, I can take control and I can like lead, I just didn't believe that. I always thought like I need to ask my parents permission to do shit. Um, but like, yeah, like, so I'll go to that tutor class, and then I just walking down, like, so no, the tutor class were happening at her house, right? And I remember the entrance would be the side of the door, side entrance of the what's it called? I guess the house basically, and then it's like the door. It's like in between the upstairs and downstairs basically. So it's like in the middle. It's, hopefully I don't know if I'm explaining this, but basically it doesn't matter. But I open a door and I remember just looking. Me even imagining down like the view of downstairs, right? And like even like the right side will be like where like the tables are and like the chairs are and where she will be basically and like the door the basement was so like dark and like the only thing that light up is the light weak ass light bulb basically and like it was like no windows. Actually, there was windows, but small windows. Like it was like barely noticeable, but it was so traumatic, man. Like, so, I'll go downstairs. I usually sit like in the far end because, well, I don't know if it was by choice, but I would do it by choice, sit in the far end, but like far end, but still visible to the like like tutor teacher where she would like she can like literally just turn around, like it would just be like a couple feet away, like 2 feet away from her, so it's not like far, not 2 feet, like probably like I'm tripping, probably like 10 feet, 10-15 feet, but but yeah, I remember I'll get homework and stuff, like I'll be fine by that. But I remember I used to be so like nervous with like I used to be so nervous like doing like because we always had like a spelling test type of thing every week, and but the thing is like she always gave a paper. It's like okay, so we can so I can like study and memorize like the thing. So the words basically. So it'll be like 12 words. So then each row she would be like, okay, how do you spell B or some shit like that. Like she'll just say that to me, and I'll just write it out B or whatever. Like it wouldn't be words simple as that. Obviously, it'll be like long words, but like let me think of a word like catastrophic. Actually, that shit's not even a word. Like it'll be words like catastrophic. Yeah, that's the word. Like I'll like remember how to spell that word. And then sometimes like I can like cheat like cheat a bit, I can like go like I'll just like go like this, pretending that I'm trying to focus and shit. Like going like this, just trying to focus and then like open the book like that just to peek and just not like hopefully I don't get caught cheating. Sometimes like um I remember sometime where I remember like sometimes like the younger kids, they will like go on the line and like it'll be so perfect that they'll block the tutor's view to my view, so then I'll like use the advantage of that, but then in a way like that the tutor teacher will see, like they'll like sense that, and then like it will like literally like manually move the student, like it'll move. It's like, and then I forgot what the tutor teacher will say, but he said, okay, like I'm watching you, like you better not cheat or something like that. But like honestly, she never caught me like cheating. Like I remember every time like I'll do like a mistake, like a spelling mistake, or like I always make a mistake when I'm like writing shit, like paragraph, like because I always hate like going back and like fixing my mistake. But I remember like she'll hit the other students, but when it came to me, or like even like the students that are like around the same age as me, maybe a little bit 2 years younger than me, like, but especially me, like she wouldn't like, she would like kind of like, she wouldn't yell at me or like hit me, but she would like be like, man, come here, like what is this or some shit. Like she'll still punish me, but like it's like she like respected me because I put in the work basically. But like I remember when I was doing that, like I think like like I was making friends. I did have friends in like school, but I remember like I would I'll kind of push that away because You know, like my best friend, he was black, you know, and like my parents were like very, I guess, like racist to those, like, not Africans in a way, or like very cautious, like, yo, black people, you know, are bad. And they will look at the news, like they always get arrested or killing or shit like that, you know. And like I really want to hang out with them, you know, but like like it's so hard to like even like talk about it, but like I felt like I couldn't be friends with him because of what my parents would be telling me, because I felt like with my self image, like I had no control in that situation, or had no control to like ask him, you know. And I never even tried to like tell my parents, like, oh, like one of my friends wants to hang out and like and all that, you know. And you know what's the other kids are like, you know, hang out with like their friends and shit, and I'm just there like just following my family's order, like my brother's order, or like my mom's order or my dad's order. Well, my dad wasn't really, he didn't really. My dad was like kind of like me, like he followed my mom's order. But like, yeah, like my social skills really lacked, you know, and um, yeah, I remember like, you know, you know, I know I hang with my brother and shit, you know, and um, yeah, I know I keep pausing, but like, yo, it's like it's kind of hard talking about my brother because he was like very abusive to me, like emotionally. Not I like physically, not really, cause I actually enjoyed like the wrestling with him. Like even though like I would keep on yelling and shit, like my parents get worried. Like I actually enjoyed that shit, you know. But like the emotional abuse part was like like even though I can't think of an example of like my brother told me, like I guess in a way, like my brother, like he always like I can't think of like specific examples, but I can tell you like repeat like patterns from him. And basically he'll always like yell at me, or like say like, oh, like you're so stupid, or like why didn't you say this, or like why this, or like you're so stupid, like just very punishing and abusive, and like just make me feel like shit, you know. And like always just bullying me because he sees like my body language and see I'm like a weak target, so he just fucking attacks me, you know. It's like it's like when I started thinking about it now, like I felt like I've been betrayed, because me being that kid, you know, like having low self esteem, fucking looking like a boy and just low testosterone, I need that role model, you know. I need someone to say like, yo, Cab, you're amazing, but like, you know, like you need to have a better self image of yourself, but like you just need to get your shit together, you know, like. But like yeah, let me talk a little bit more about I guess I guess my journey in elementary. So the reason I went to Churaka is because, you know, like my parents see me like, I guess they're comparing me with my I guess cousin, like they're all successful, all getting good grades and shit, and I'm there like addicted to video games and you know, just fucking around and shit, you know. And like they see me like, oh, like this kid, man, like always can't even pay attention in school, and like kid's stupid, or like a loser and shit, you know. And I know he has an anger management problem because it's just selfish kid, like shit like that, Um, but yeah, my friend, like my black friend, um, he would like always like ask me like, yo, why don't you hang out? Why don't you hang out? I'm like, oh, just busy with tutor and shit. And like, man, like me just saying that, like thinking about it, man, I used to like hurt, man. Like, I remember one time when like in my school where like my black friend was saying like, what you do on the weekends? Like, oh, I hung out with Cav. He's like, oh shit, yeah, shit. And then like Mikhail said, oh no, I was just joking. We didn't like do that. And then I don't know. I felt the awkwardness. And I remember like when I was in high school, like I actually I'll talk about it later. I'll talk about it more. So I'm gonna talk about that part of the story later. But okay, let's say, yeah. So I'm studying for tutoring. I was improving so much. I was so happy because my family was happy. So I was like, yo, yeah, I'm not yelling at my family. My family happy for me. Wow, like I feel great. And then I remember, I was studying and studying, and then I remember like I was in the 8th grade, so it was time to go to high school. And so then, I don't know why, but like the teachers were literally selecting, or like actually they didn't select, but my family gave the option to select to the teachers. But I remember like it was me, my mom, and my dad were there. I don't know, my brother was no, my brother wasn't there. It was like a Tamil translator. So she was like a teacher, but like it was like yeah, it was like a teacher, but like in another class. But like that teacher and my teacher were like really close and shit. Like even our classes and our shit, like we're related basically. We're connected for some reason. I don't know. I think because of our IEP class. Even though like that class there is like a younger class. I don't know by how much. I think like by like a grade or two. Like 6th grade or like 5th grade and shit like that. But like yeah, I remember like yeah, like they're discussing like, oh, like like it's so amazing how much improvement you got, Cav. Like it's like amazing, like how much like. And then I was thinking like, yo, I want to go Thompson because my black friend, like he went to Thompson, So I was like, yo, I wanna go Thompson, man. Like, yo, like it'll be amazing, Like I can like our connection will be even closer, And this time I can actually like I can finally hang out with him. So then as they're talking more and more, and then they're very impressed on my improvement. And I remember they're saying like if I didn't improve so much, or like basically if I didn't go that tutor if I didn't go tutor class, like I would have went to Maplewood. And Maplewood is basically like it's basically a high school where you can't graduate, but it's basically like I don't even know what type of school it is, but it's like you just can't like graduate basically. It's like I don't even know, like it's like a below the IEP class basically. It's weird. Or below college level, because I think that's what it is. But I remember like the teacher said like, okay, I want to recommend you go to Bendale. And the thing about Bendale was it had a bad reputation. Bendale BTI. It had a bad reputation. Like, yo, this teacher. I mean, this not teacher. I mean, the school. This high school was not very good and shit. There's a lot of bad behavior, and like not a lot of people were there and shit like that. It had a lot of like technical schools, technical classes like plumbing. I had fucking like carpentry, like even like Photoshop class, and like it has some more like even welding, like shit like that. So it was like it was a really good like trade school, but I wasn't really thinking about it. I was just thinking like I just want to be with my friend, you know, like I want to be close with him, you know. I want to like finally hang out with him, you know. I was thinking like high school is like for big boys, you know, it's like the next level, you know. So I was like, yo, I'm becoming a big boy. I can make my own decisions and shit, you know. That's what I was thinking, you know. And I remember I was so upset. I'm like, oh, I don't know, man. Like me, my my the black friend. Like I didn't say the black friend, but like I said his name. It's like, yo, he didn't go. He's going to like, uh, he's going to David Mary Thompson. I want to go there, you know. And they said like no, but like it's a cap. We're not discouraging you, but like we're very proud of the progression you made. But we really recommend you going to Bendo. I think that's a really good option, you know. And I was like, I guess so, you know. And then I think I kind of went into like a little bit of a like depression without even knowing what depression was. But I felt like this is it. Like I felt like it was over because back then I didn't have social media. Everyone was using like Facebook. I think maybe Instagram, but I think Facebook was like still popping back in like 2015, 2014, you know, that type of um I guess age or era. But yeah, I felt so bummed out, you know. And then leading up to like the graduation, or when it was actually, yeah, leading up to graduation, I'm pretty sure I told um my tutor teacher like, yeah, I'm going to Bendel, and I think my mom was there too. So yeah, like, and they were so proud and shit. And then I don't know, like I wasn't proud, man. Like I was like, but I'm not gonna like be with my friend, you know. I'll be like on by my own, because no one else from my grade went to went to Bendel. I was the only one that went to Bendel, and I was like, everyone else went to like, majority of them went to Thompson. Some of them went to Wexford, and then I think no, like one or two people went to Wexford, and then like, so first was Thompson, and then second was Vanier, and then one or two people went to Wexford, you know. So yeah, basically like I just felt so like I was like, I forgot a lot. I lost what I was gonna say, but yeah. So I was like, okay, yeah. So I'm going to Bendel. I didn't really. I now I started thinking like, okay, how am I gonna make friends if I went to Bendel? But like, yeah, basically, so okay, let me talk about the graduation for my grade 8 graduation, leading up to grade 9, or yeah, grade 8 graduation. But I remember, you know, I was with my friend, and it was cool and all, you know, like I I remember like there's all the celebratory thing happening. I remember they had a slideshow of all like the graduate that had like they put photos of like their kid photos. Basically, they didn't put mine too. I remember like my mom, like like she put in like me wearing a dress and shit, and like I was like, yeah, that's pretty cute, but like it was weird and shit, you know. I was like, what the fuck. But like I remember like the whole time I was so like mindless. I was like, yo, man, I just want to go home and cry, man. I was like, fuck, man. Like, it's just all this academic work, like all worth it at the end. Like, was it just like, what was this all for? You know, I don't even understand. You know. So yeah, so I'm trying to remember. So um I remember like, yeah, I went to high school, um And like the first year was so like I was so depressed. I was like, fuck, like I was still the same kid as I was in elementary. I still had I never felt like I grown up. Like I still had low self esteem. Didn't see myself good enough, and I remember like a short period of time. I was just I don't know how I made this he became my friend, but like, I remember like in English class like this guy where like he would like talk with me like he would like in a way like he was like a Greek guy. Like this guy, his name is I don't want to say his name, but he's from Greece. But this guy, he represents Greece. Like he does not talk about like he embraces it. You know, he loves talking about Greece. But I remember like I don't know, I didn't really say shit, but I remember like I just listened to him. He always talked about stories and shit. I was like, yo, like why, yo, this guy is interesting. I was like, wow, like it's kind of I don't know. He helped me like get through I guess high school. Um, but he was in my English class. So then I went to my other class. It was like a geography class, and then I remember I also made another friend. Oh no, like I, I was friends with this guy, but I remember like this guy. His name was like Muhammad and shit. I don't care like say his name because a bunch of people named Muhammad, so I was like whatever. And I just have always talk shit. Like I see him as like my brother in a way. But he just talk more shit about me, like made fun of me and shit. And I just allowed that to happen because low self esteem. You know, I believe that I can't defend myself. Like I'm telling you, like self image about yourself is so important, man. If I read Cybernetics back then, I would have been killing it by now, you know, like with life and shit. Um, I'll probably be a different person, you know. Probably wouldn't have this body to be honest, but yeah, I guess it's a blessing, you know, suffering, you know. But like I would like talk with him, kind of. But like in lunch class, I wouldn't even be with him. Like, I don't. I remember like in lunch class or lunchtime, um, I want to go home, but like it was a quite bit distance away from my high school to home. It was not too far of a distance, but like walking wise, it would be long as distance. But like I would want to like go home so I can eat my lunch and then go back to school. Because I felt like I didn't have no I had no friends basically. Um, so yeah, I remember like I wouldn't even eat the lunchroom because it was so noisy and I just felt so like I just felt like everyone's looking at me. I'm like, yo, this kid's weird and shit. I'm pretty sure no one's really looking at me because they're just mind their own business or like they probably also have dealing with their problems too. But I remember I would just eat like the school was small, but like I remember I would just eat like somewhere that's like the quietest part of the school. But you know, there'd still be people walking by. But I remember I would just sit on the floor and like just eat my lunch like that, you know, for a bit, you know, and then I also made like this other friend like I'm still friends with him to this day, you know. I'm so proud of like he's like my like homie, you know. His name is like Misha. And I'm just saying because I appreciate him so much, you know. But yeah, I'll make friends with him, you know, and you know our connection will get closer and closer. You know, we'll play games together. But remember, I still had anger management problems, you know, and I think because I felt like I miss because I missed like my old best friend, my black friend. I was just so mad, you know, and I sometimes put the anger to Misha and shit, and it's like I used to think like, oh, like this guy's not my friend. I want to be friends with that black guy. Like what the fuck? And I remember I remember like I miss him so much that like I literally made a Facebook account just so I can message him. Basically, honestly, like if I didn't like if that didn't happen, I don't think. Actually, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't make a Facebook account, but that was like my like why like I made a Facebook account just so I can message him. And I remember like, I'll message him, like talk with him. He'll respond saying like, I asked him like, "Oh, do you want to hang out?" And she's like, "Oh no, like I got ball and shit." He was a big fan of playing basketball. I remember like in elementary, like my black friend, he would like say like, "Yo, I want to be in the NBA or some shit." He never made it in the NBA. But yeah, basically like I remember like he like messaged me like saying like, "Yo, like," I was like, "Yo, how's life?" Like, I asked him, "Do you still hang out with this guy?" Like he was this I called this guy A. "Do you still hang out with A?" And he said, "Nah, he's a waste man." So A, he's like in elementary school, he was like part of the friend group, because I don't know, just allowed because I guess in a way like we were like the trio of like being the goofball of the class, like the class clown basically. Like we all still were just the class clown basically. So like um so I guess in a way he'll be part of the friend group because of that, but uh like basically like there are some times where like he'll hang out with A. Um like I don't know how like their connection would be like, but um I remember I asked him like, "Yo, you used to hang out with A?" He's like, "Nah, man." He's like, "What the fuck? No, A?" Like, and he started just laughing. He's like, I don't hang out with that waste man." I was like, "Oh, he's the waste man?" I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy." And then I remember always asking him like, "Yo, you wanna hang out? You wanna hang out? You wanna hang out?" Just ignore me, ignore me. And then he's saying like, "Yo, stop." It's like, and then I remember he messaged me back saying like, "Yo, you a waste man? Like, can you stop messaging me? Like, what the hell?" It's like, "Yo, I'm busy with school and like basketball and shit." And then I don't know, like with that, I was like, "Shit, man." Even though like, cause I want to hang out with him. I want to like because I want to hang out with him, see like just make up all those times, but I don't know what was the situation in his life. I remember he was saying like he was selling weed, so I'm pretty sure like he was dealing with shit too. But yeah, I just want to hang out with him. I just want to be like, "Yo, what's up, man?" Like we never hanged out and shit, but like, I want to make it up. So like, I just want to hang out with him. He was a funny ass dude. Like, he always, I remember he always troll me and shit. He gets me mad, but like, it's like a happy type of mad. Like I miss those days, man. Like he was a really good friend. But yeah, I just wish that like I wish we hung out. I wish I had a better self image of myself, of like seeing myself like as a person I can be in control. Like I can control my life. I can have a happy life. But like I never believed that I can have that happy life without asking my parents permission. You know, I always thought that, oh, I have to listen to my parents, or like I'll get beat or like yelled at. I never saw myself I was good enough. And then so with those messages, I went in a deep depression. I was like, yo, like I remember like I went on a deep depression like since I was like 16 to like 21. I wasn't really uh, I didn't really understand. I didn't really like was aware when I was like 16, but like around like 17, like that's when I start understanding, hearing about like mental, about depression, anxiety, and like just being aware of it. And like I feel like this might be a side tangent, but I feel like being diagnosed with depression, anxiety, I feel like that's such a bad thing on your mind. Imagine telling a person you're depressed, and then that person believes it. He's like, oh, "Okay, I'm depressed." So now, like, if you like now you have the self image of the person being depressed, and so if you can have, instead you can use it as, "Okay, I'm depressed," but that means I can use this. as like a sign, like why am I depressed? You know, it's like it's like, or you can like use it like, oh, no, I'm not depressed. I'm just like, I just need to fix my life. You know, like if you have a more optimistic mindset of something like that, then it's better. But I hate when it's like you're diagnosed with depression, so you need to take this medication. Man, that's like, but are you like, I saw the medical team or like the society, or are you trying to kill like the kids and shit? Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, y'all need a fucking slap on your face, honestly. But like, um, yeah, I remember like I was like depressed like to 17 to 21, and then I started making music because I've been seeing like rappers like Lil Peep, Lil Skies, like Travis Scott, definitely Travis Scott in the rodeo days and shit like that. Rodeo days before rodeo, Birds in the Trap McKnight, like rodeo and days before rodeo. Those like that's like my favorite era from Travis Scott. Favorite album, and I guess mixtape with Days Before Rodeo. Yeah, I remember I was just making music, and even though it was trash and shit, I was like, I remember like when I made music back then, I never really embraced my true style, or like my true like delivery, the way I speak, because like I was so insecure about myself, because I felt like if people heard my voice, they would just make fun of me. So I had a horrible self-image myself, but so like I was sometimes like trying to emulate Travis Scott, like his the way he like delivers his raps, basically, like how he was like lit like fly high, yeah, like don't you open up that way. That wasn't a freestyle, but you know what I'm saying. He like, I would like in a way rap like that, or like, or just like rap like who else would I listen to? I rap like older Drake music, like if you ruin this too late, but like mostly like Travis Scott like style. And I'll just make music like that just because I was just dealing with shit. Oh yeah, I remember I used to listen to Hobson too, so like I'll like rap like Hobson and shit. But yeah, basically it was like what I want to discuss, what I want to explain with like the story that I just said is, I'm like, with the self-image, is when you don't truly respect yourself with the stuff you put in your mind, you start to become it. And then like back then when I was in high school, and like when I didn't embrace who I was, I wasn't able to make friends. Like actually a small portion of friends that I was able to make because they empathize with me, or like they just fuck with my energy. Like they empathize. I was like that kid who just needs somebody. While everyone else ignored me, or like or like or some of them would just like bully me and shit. And yeah, so like I'm very appreciative. Like I still have Nisha by my side. Um. Yeah, yeah. Just thinking about that back then, man. Like it was so hard. Um. But the lesson I'm teaching is like the importance of self-image, the importance of being conscious of self-image, and how much your past has influenced your mind. But now, like, if you like learn from this lesson, and you start, like, I feel like just starting reading cybernetics, it'll just do wonders to you. Like if you just start meditating and like just reading books like cybernetics and just living life how you want, like life would just be like that. Like it wouldn't just be so stressful. Like life would be so much enjoyable, and making friends would be easier. I still have trouble making friends, but the more I'm comfortable just being myself, just being fully aligned just with myself, just it's just like just not consuming so like fucking media nowadays. Like I feel like, I'll make that true authentic friends. The friends I feel like I'll belong. The friends I feel like I'm safe. The friends like where like my body just doesn't feel tensed up, or like my facial features doesn't like squeak or like I don't know what I'm saying, but like, I'm pretty sure y'all know what I mean. But like, like, so yeah, like that Psycho Cybernetics has really like improved like a lot of my life. Like I've been like, I don't know if I ever told you guys, like I recently just passed my NECC exam, and I remember like I was like had trouble going through it because my mom was just mindless, and the teachers, like my specialists, weren't providing the right support that I needed. But I remember when they did give me the right support. But I remember before I did the exam, I read. So I remember when I got the book, I read the like a first chapter of the book, and then I remember just immediately like I had the self image. Yeah, I can pass this exam. It's not hard. I just need to like study a little bit and I'm good. And I remember like when I was doing the exam, like I remember like I have like 2.5 hours of time to complete it, but I completed just in 1.5 hours and I passed it like that, you know, and I remember when I passed it, I felt confident. Like I was like, okay, like I know I'm gonna pass it, so I ain't gonna stress about it. I was like, whatever. And I did. I passed it. You know. And I can give you another example where so I'm getting back into making music again, but like I want to do it in a more professional way, more like in a brotherhood type of way. Where like I have a mentor and shit, and like I've been when I first went to Beast Builder. I was always thinking, I was overthinking like what to say, how to deliver, and like shit like that. And then with the helping lessons of like the facilitators there, like they'll help me like just to be yourself, just like in a way like flow on the beat. And the more I practice it and the more the belief I got, it's like, yo, I'm a rapper, I can do this. Like it's like, yo, what the fuck, I can do this. And then I've been getting so much better and better. Like that's what life is about, man. Like it's about getting better. It's not like, bro, like it's about like, I remember in the book it was saying like you shouldn't compare to other people because there's can only be only one of you and one of you only. So it's like, just imagine like the people who you can impact, because of you being you, and like based on your morals and values and like your character and shit, like just how much people respect you for being you. If you're like, people only respect you if you act like yourself, like when you actually like do what you want, like you can't just like you can't like you can't just go in the river and like let the river fucking like take you wherever you want, take it wherever it wants, because and you just end up in a dump. You gotta grab the wheel and you gotta fucking drive that shit. That's what I'm saying. I've been talking for 43 minutes, so that's what it is. Later.